Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Hey everybody, welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I have an awesome guest for you today. So I'm really excited today because I have one of my favorite people in the whole wide world here. And I'm sharing her with you because she is full of so much wisdom and grace, and she's got some really powerful information for we amazing women who want to just have, the best energy possible, and just really have hormonal health, optimum hormonal health. So first I'm going to say, hi, Robin. Glad you're here.
Oh, hi, Tricia. It's so great to be here.
Oh, I love you so much. Everybody, Robin Nielsen is a hormone expert, and she's the founder of the Natural Hormone Solution. And she helps women across the globe up-level their health by resetting their hormones. So it's an amazing thing that she does. People get so much benefits. The stories are incredible. And the solution is fairly simple. So she makes something so, the science and the hormones and our endocrine system and all those complicated things so simple. She just brings it right down to brass tacks. So Robin, that's what I love about you. And I'm glad you're here talking to everybody in the Secret Sauce group.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here. I love simple. I thrive on simple. Life is so complicated and it always gets in the way. And we need simple if we want to thrive and be happy and be in our bodies and live the fabulous lives that we're meant to live.
Oh, amen. We deserve that. So I just adore you. And Robin and I, we're like really good friends, and we've traveled, been to Mexico together. She's invited me down there into her whole home, and we almost went sailing together this summer. That'll be next summer. She really walks her talk, and she's just really, and you can see she's so beautiful, and she's really just a resource of health and vitality. And I always up-level my health when I'm around her. So Robin, for that reason, I'm really excited to share with people everything you have for us today, which I know we can't do everything, for God's sakes, but I do want people to really start tuning in to hormone health. And you've made it simple by talking about six fundamental hormones that people can start to really focus on, getting in better shape. So take it away. Tell us how we can do that.
Oh my goodness. So, I talk about resetting 6 hormones so that you can feel so much better. And what we don't realize is that a couple of things. One, it's not our fault. It's not our fault that we don't feel well. We just don't know. We don't know it's possible to feel better, because I felt so crappy when I was a teenager, and so for a lot of my life, for literally decades, I struggled with a lot of different health challenges. I had horrible digestive issues. I had acne on my face, my chest, and my back. It was so bad that, I could never wear a scoop neck top like this. And I felt so much shame and embarrassment and even a lot of guilt because I didn't really know how to address it, but somehow it was my fault.
Yeah. I don't know. Emotional eaters do that all the time. Like, whatever it is, I'll take it. You give the blame to me.
And so I kind of hid, I love people. I'm pretty social, but, I kind of hid because I just was so self-conscious. And then I could gain 5 pounds in a day for no good reason. I'm like, what is up with that? What's up with that? So today my pants fit, but tomorrow, no, right? And yes, I love to bake. Did I connect the two? No, I didn't. And then my gums started receding, and so I had to use special toothpaste because the enamel on my teeth was eroding. and my teeth were so sensitive to hot and cold. And so I'm like,
Wow.
and the dentist didn't say that I could heal my gums or my enamel. He just said, here you go. Here's some special toothpaste to numb things out so that you can eat and don't have to worry about it. And that was when I was 19.
Wow.
I remember going off to work at Yellowstone National Park with my Sensodyne toothpaste. And, and then I started getting arthritic symptoms in my hands. Like I'd be carrying a heavy bucket and it would just fall out of my hand because I couldn't grab. I didn't have grab strength anymore because I had very sore joints in my hands. And then over time, I just got more tired and more tired and more tired. And I still had the acne on my face, my chest, and my back. Like these things were not going away, but I was just getting, more fatigued as the years went on. And finally, I just kind of crashed and burned and said, this is enough, right? I'm tired of being fat. I'm tired of being tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it's when you get there, hopefully before that, don't wait until you bottom out like I did. But I just vowed right then and there to figure it out. And what I've learned, it's kind of interesting because when you say yes to yourself, right here, yes to yourself, your genes start expressing themselves for the better immediately.
Oh, I love that.
You see, so when you say yes to doing something with Tricia, right? When you say yes to yourself, your genes automatically express themselves in a more positive way that instantly helps you to feel better. So it's when we are over serving, right? That we, our mindset is part of that over serving, but when we're over serving and under taking care of ourselves, right? Not enough self-care, that we start to build up resentment and health problems start to come along, but we also have those genetics that need to be paid attention to. So without getting too technical, there's something called epigenetics where, all those lifestyle factors that we learned from those who raised us, whether it's our parents or friends or grandparents or whoever raised us, that actually has the biggest impact on how our genetics express themselves. So it's things like lifestyle, right? What time you decide to go to bed, if you decide to go to bed, how many hours you sleep, like your belief system around all of that. Your movement, right? I grew up in a family where, if you were getting a little fat, you went out and ran.
Yeah.
You ran, you stopped eating. You first stopped eating and then you went out and ran. And when I would run, I would get the stitch in my side. So it was like a horrible experience all the way around. But that's what I knew to do. That's what we've learned. And those are those epigenetics, right? That influence my genes to either help me feel better or help me feel worse. And here's where the hormonal part comes in. Every single thing we do affects our hormones. And if one hormone is out of balance, they're all out of balance.
Oh, wow.
Crazy, right?
It's like a dance and everybody's got to play their part.
It's like a dance. It's like a symphony.
Yeah.
And the really amazing part is that as women, we know hormones. Let's not mess around with this. Like women, when we say the word hormone, we're like, yes, I have some. And they're not always behaving themselves. Right? From my period, I feel terrible, right? It's all FLC, I feel like crap. And, even postmenopausal, we still have cycles. For sure, we still have cycles. And it's mostly around our cycle, but then there's the whole mood thing, right? And moods are totally impacted by our hormones. So when I made my decision, when I said yes to myself, right, and said, I'm going to figure this out. I'm so tired of feeling this way. Like nothing's going to stop me. You know how it goes. Like the universe kind of aligns and starts bringing you everything you need to fulfill that mission that you're on. Getting goosebumps. And that's exactly, it happened so fast. You would not have believed it. Like within a week, I was back in school. Within a week. Like one thing, I went to see this business guru. She was going to help me with my business ideas. She handed me a card, said, I think you need to do this. I was at a supermarket. They had a booth. I'm like, I guess I'm going back to school. And then, my father had this endocrinologist who was crazy amazing. She was like this functional medicine doc well before, it was a real thing, and could heal just about anything, through lifestyle, nutrients, and food. So I was just like, every case study was me. It's like, how did she fix that? How did she fix that? How did she fix that? Every horrible case study was me. And it was all based on hormones.
Wow.
So I actually studied under her. And that's how I just fell in love with the whole hormonal symphony, because when we understand how it works, it's just like friggin' magic.
I love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good for you. I don't know that I had heard that story before. So it's nice to hear that kind of the back. I knew some backstory, but not that far back. So that's good stuff.
Yeah. And it was just an amazing journey for me. And I just kept saying yes to myself. I just kept saying yes, so that, it just felt right. I just need to keep going on this path, because I had vowed that I was not going back. And the beautiful thing is, we don't know how bad we feel until we begin to heal.
Amen. You have to have the juxtaposition between feeling better to realize that you felt so bad.
Absolutely. I had no idea I was so far down, because I had this, I don't know, maybe some of the Olympians have this sort of thing too. I like to equate myself to the Olympians, where you've got this brain chemistry that just keeps pushing you through, even though you feel so bad.
Yeah. And you're settling. You just settle for feeling crappy.
Yes. And I was like, we get this thing, I don't know, maybe it's stubbornness, maybe it's being controlling, where we say, I can do this. Right. Even though I feel so bad, I can do this.
I just have to work harder.
Yes. Oh my, that was so my thing. I just have to work harder. And I think of like the decades, right? Every January would come around and I'd be on a new diet, right? It's like doing the same thing over and over is the definition of insanity. But I still was going to do it, because it's all I knew, right? So, and it always worked, right? It worked for this long. So of course I've gained hundreds of pounds over the years, hundreds of pounds over the years, until I finally figured it out.
Okay. I want to stop right there and say, for anybody watching in the Secret Sauce group, please comment. Do you relate to this? Is this something that you can identify with? Robin's story, Robin's nightmare, so if you relate, go ahead and put it in the comments. Back to you, Robin.
Yeah. So I look back and I think, of course, my mess is my message, right? Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine myself being here doing this, right? It was all very self-serving. Like, I need to figure out my stuff. And then of course, as you start to heal, I have a lot of clients, who, oh my gosh, like they become these huge advocates that, oh my gosh, you can really feel this great. Like, really?
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't have to diet to maintain a really healthy body composition. Incredible, right? All these things. So what I want to share today is something a little bit different, which may be really cool for you to know. I want to go through some of the symptoms of the 6 different hormones, and see if you can relate to any of these symptoms. And then I'm going to share which hormones are out of balance when you're experiencing one of those symptoms. Now, the 6 hormones that I mostly focus on, and as women, we always know about our sex hormones, right? Like, we talk about estrogen usually being too high. Sometimes we, get our test back and it's too low, but there's this big sense out there that we have estrogen dominance, right? A lot of us know that term. And then, a lot of times our progesterone is too low. And so we complain about that. How do I raise my progesterone? How do I lower my estrogen? And then, then there's testosterone, and we talk about that. Sometimes there's FSH and LH, but I don't really go into those because those are really affected by other hormones. And so the 6 hormones that we most pay attention to, or that we want to pay attention to, are the 2 biggies: insulin, and that's the hormone that actually it's a lock and key hormone. So insulin is the hormone that is the key that unlocks the cell to get sugar from our bloodstream into the cell to burn for fuel.
Okay. It's a nice way of putting it. I like that.
So here's why that's important. Because if you're packing on fat, you're like, what the heck, right? You're packing on fat. It's because insulin is not unlocking the cell. The key does not work.
Okay.
Right? Because your cells have become resistant to insulin. So then what happens is your body is like this amazing, super smart, wise entity that has to keep blood sugar in this really tight place in your bloodstream. So because it's protecting your brain. So your blood sugar cannot get too high, it can't get too low. So if your blood sugar starts creeping up because you can't get insulin in your cell to burn for fuel, it whisks it out and stores it as fat, usually right around your middle, right? So that's how we know if we're starting to pack on fat around the middle, that things are going south. All right, so that's why if we can't get that sugar into our cells, we're tired because now we don't have that fuel. Mm-hmm. And we get fat. So we get fat and tired. Okay. So I'm not going to give this explanation on every hormone. We're going to go to symptoms in just a moment. But that's why insulin's so important.
Okay. I love that. That's really helpful.
Oh, good. Oh, good. And then it works with the other major hormone, which is cortisol. So those are the major hormones. Do we ever think about those hormones? No, we don't. But we do talk about cortisol a lot, and we just don't know it because we talk about stress. Right? Yeah. We talk about stress. But the beautiful part about cortisol is that it's our daytime hormone. So we need a beautiful cortisol arc during the day so that we have a beautiful, energetic, lovely flowing day, and then also a beautiful night, right? Because they work together.
Right.
So going forward, now you know that it's not estrogen and progesterone and testosterone that are our major hormones, but it's insulin and cortisol.
Yeah, that's a little bit of that's a little obscure, that bit of information. So thanks for spotlighting that.
Yeah. So it's just like a completely different mindset shift. So here's the thing. So this will put things in perspective. Hold on just a second. I have these two little critters in my office, but this is the critter that I want to show. He's really big.
Oh, it's a big, furry, fluffy tiger.
Yeah, he's very, very big. See how big he is?
Oh, it's like a circus. It's like a circus stuffed animal that you win after you ring the bell.
My clients gave this to me after I gave my presentation.
It's really
when we could have live events last year.
Oh.
And here's the deal. Like if we're busy running from the tiger, right?
Yeah.
We're busy running from the tiger. We can't sleep at night because we're idiots, right?
Yeah.
We can't make babies, i.e. we can't make our sex hormones, or we'll get eaten. Like there are all these things that our body can't do. Yeah. And our blood flow goes to the extremities, right? So it could be that you just lost your car keys. Or it could be that, you're late again, right? For work or for an appointment or whatever it is. Or it could be that you had an argument, with your honey or, with one of your kids or something. And those are all pretty major stressors that elevate cortisol and insulin. Mm-hmm. So that's like when you start thinking about, oh my gosh, my sex hormones are too low, you've got to go way upstream to cortisol and insulin and start thinking, why is that? Why am I making so much more cortisol than I am my sex hormones? Like what is stressing me out? So it's a really simple thing to think about. So you go to the doctor, you get your hormones tested, and your doctor's like, well, you're a little on the low side. Let's give you a little of this and a little of that. You want to start thinking, well, why are they low? Like what is
right? Yeah. What's the root cause?
Yeah. What's the root cause? Okay. So now let me share a few symptoms with you and you see if you can guess which hormone is out of balance.
Okay. Is there another stuffed animal in this presentation? Oh, I can't wait. I'm so happy. Okay.
Okay, there's one more, and this is the zebra. And the reason that the zebra is so important is because the zebra is eating. Imagine that the zebra is eating. He's on the Serengeti. I hope the Serengeti has grass, because I have no idea. So his head is down. He's eating so happy. Like the whole herd is eating. They're so happy. But then they notice there's a tiger.
The tiger.
And so the little zebra, this is Sarah, by the way.
Sarah the zebra.
The little zebra lifts its head, right, perks its ears, and says, uh-oh. And so they start running, right? So when the zebra is eating, it's in the what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. The rest,
super happy.
Rest and digest, feed and breed, right?
Uh-huh.
But when this little guy notices the tiger and its ears go forward, now it's in the fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
And so the little zebra and the whole herd, they start running, and they run and they run and they run until they feel safe again. And then here's the really cool thing about zebras. It does not happen. You didn't know this was going to be a puppet show.
Well, no, and I'm really excited because it's all bringing me back to when I was 5 and I was at the library and it was story time. And I'm like, I'm so in my parasympathetic right now.
Oh my gosh. So the zebras feel safe again. So they drop their heads, their little ears go back, they drop their heads and they start eating again, right? So zebras are cool. Animals are cool for the most part in that they can shift between nervous systems so quickly.
Wow.
Right? They just go back and forth between the sympathetic, the rest and digest, the fight or flight, the rest and digest, fight or flight. Like they can go back and forth. We cannot. We have this brain, we have this thing between our ears that keeps us a little bit stuck. So that's how Sarah comes into the show. And those are the only animals that I have. So you're going to have to be content.
Okay. I'll settle down.
Content with the puppet show.
That was Robin. That was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
All right. So here are some symptoms, and I want you to keep track. So yes, please comment if this is you.
Yes.
And then if you feel brave and would like to guess which hormone, you definitely can. All right. So this is something that I do. I have a program called the 15-day Hormone Reset, and we do a complete hormone assessment. So you get a score for each hormone, sometimes highs and lows of each hormone before we start the program. So I'm going to take some symptoms from the complete hormone reset. It's so enlightening.
Yeah. And I just have to comment on that because this 15-day hormone reset is so amazing. So we're going to let you know how to attend because it's like, it costs barely anything and you get so much information. When you can tell how much Robin has to share, but I just love it. And my clients rave about it, my clients and your clients. And I mean, everybody just loves it. So
yeah, it's a love fest. It's a pretty special thing. So special.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are some symptoms.
Okay.
So the weight gain, especially around the middle. Is that a yes for you? No for you? Feeling wired, but tired. Feeling wired, but tired.
So anxious and lethargic.
Yeah. So let me give you an example. Like you're kind of walking around really fatigued all day, but try to go to sleep and you just can't. Like you're too wired. Like there's just, I mean, if you feel this way, you have this kind of underlying anxiety going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me give you one more. This is a good one for your group. Sugar cravings. You need something sweet after each meal.
Yeah, we get a lot of those.
And so I'm just going to give you those 3.
Okay.
Weight gain, especially around the middle. Feeling tired, but wired, a little bit anxious. Oh, let me give you one more. A quickness to feel anger or rage. Frequency yelling.
Well, so irritable, like you want to bite somebody's head off.
Yeah.
You want to be you are the tiger.
Yeah. And then sugar cravings. So those 4. So this is actually elevated cortisol.
Oh, elevated cortisol. I was going to say, yeah. Okay. But I thought we already covered it. Okay, good.
That's something. So you can have weight gain around the middle because cortisol regulates blood sugar. Like cortisol regulates a lot of things. So for instance, if you have high blood pressure or blood pressure problems, you got to think cortisol, right? Adrenals. Okay, so oh, you know what? Hold on, sweeties. You know what I didn't share with you are all the 6 hormones. So I shared cortisol, insulin, thyroid hormones. So thyroid hormones, those are considered mid-range hormones. And then the minor hormones, right, are progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. So that's your 6.
Okay. And those are the last 3 were the sex hormones you referred to earlier.
Yes. Yeah, that you're not going to make much of if you're always stressed out, right?
Okay. So cortisol is so central to everything.
So cortisol is like your major hormone. So those are symptoms of elevated cortisol. So cravings, weight gain, especially around the middle, tired but wired, a quickness to feel rage or anger. Okay, so now I'm going to give you 3 more symptoms. You can crying for no particular reason. You feel dizzy when you stand from a seated or lying down position. So if you stand up, you feel dizzy. Salt cravings. And I'll give you 1 more. Hemorrhoids or varicose veins. Yeah, so which hormone is this? So this is a little bit of a trick question. Just so
it sounds like something having to do with your adrenals, because I've had some of those.
It totally does. So this again is cortisol, but it's low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's low cortisol, and you feel stressed.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So here's another hormone. Agitation, anxiety, or PMS symptoms. And I'll give you 1 more. Bloating, particularly in the ankles and belly, or fluid retention, like you gain 3 to 5 pounds or more before your period. So that actually is low progesterone.
Oh, okay.
Low progesterone. All right. So then, so now here's another hormone, high or low. So it could be high or low. Heavy bleeding or postmenopausal bleeding. Increased bra cup size or breast tenderness. Yes, you can actually have bigger breasts than you ever knew you could have. Migraines or other headaches. And I'll give you 1 more, brain fog. Which hormone is this?
I'm not guessing anymore. I keep guessing wrong.
Well, there are only a few left. So
I know.
So this is excess estrogen.
Okay, I was going to say I was going to go back to estrogen.
All right. So the next one, poor memory. Wrinkles. Did you know that wrinkles could actually go away if you balance your hormones? Oh my God.
I did not know that.
Wrinkles. I know you thought it was just eating sugar, but yes, that's a problem. Eating sugar makes you wrinkled, but also there are hormones that are related to wrinkles. Bladder infections. This is low estrogen. Okay, so excess hair on your face, your chest, or arms.
All right. Now I'll pick the testosterone.
Acne, which is what I had, right? Thinning hair on your head. And ovarian cysts. So I'll give you all 4 of those. Excess hair on your face, chest, or arms.
Wow.
Acne, thinning hair on your head.
That's testosterone. That's high testosterone.
So it's excess androgens. So testosterone is an androgen. So it could be testosterone, DHEA. Yeah, it's usually, we call it testosterone, but there are a number of them, and it's more potent, right? Because you're losing your hair, or you have acne, or you have hirsutism, which is growing that facial hair, or hair where you don't want it, right? Male pattern hair growth. All right, so we just have a couple more.
Okay.
All right, so here's the next one. Dry skin, fluid retention or swollen ankles, tingling in your hands or feet, slow brain, slow thoughts, difficulty concentrating.
Oh, thyroid.
Yeah, it's our thyroid. So that would be low thyroid function,
Okay.
right? Low thyroid. And thyroid is not a hormone. Okay. I get that. But the thyroid produces hormones and then your body converts to an active form. So I just call it to keep
Got it.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here's the last, I think this is the last one. Yep, this is the very last one. My waist to hip ratio is greater than 0.8. So this, you would have to do some measurements, but if you measured your waist, you can do this later, and your hips, right? And then you divide your hip into your waist, you want it to be 0.8 or less. Okay, 0.8 or less, that's a symptom. You are overweight. You have a history of miscarriage potentially, and you have high triglycerides on your blood work. High triglycerides. And you might feel fatigued and have blood sugar swings too. So this one is actually insulin. So hopefully that was helpful. You can sort of see when you start to get your hormones more imbalanced or more balanced that you can feel so much better. And what also is really interesting is that you can have highs and lows of the same hormone in one day. Like a lot of women experience high cortisol symptoms and low cortisol symptoms in the same day. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I've actually had that. I struggled a lot with adrenal fatigue in my life.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I for sure have too. But it's totally fixable. And so, just, when you are experiencing something, you want to look at things as the objective scientist, from the, 10,000 foot view or whatever it is, and say, I'm not feeling so great. Like, how could I better support myself right now to feel more balanced? And yeah, that's what I teach you in the 15-day hormone reset is how to be in the rest and digest nervous system more of the time, like those sweet little things that we can do that make a huge difference in how you feel, which will, totally up level your day-to-day life and how you see things and how you just live your life. It's really
I love it. So I put in the Secret Sauce group, I put the link, and in the podcast, we'll put the link in the show notes. But can you just give people a little thumbnail of what the 15-day hormone reset is?
Yes, absolutely. So it's 15 days long. It's a beautiful love fest.
But for just like 1 hour a day. No, so it's not, you're not committing half a month.
And for the very first time, this is like our 5th reset that we've done over the last couple of years. For the very first time, we are not going to have an episode on the weekends so that you can actually watch the replay. So it'll be 5 days on, 2 days off, and then 5 days on, and then one final beautiful day. And it's incredible. So what I would love to share, let me just share a little bit about the reset, and then I'd love to share a case study.
Yeah.
If that would be helpful. So the reset is actually, the promise is to help you eliminate anxiety, lose weight, and boost your energy. I really felt that, those are sort of top of mind for women in general. We want to feel balanced. We want to have balanced moods. We want to feel sexy. We want to feel sexy. And oh gosh, Tricia, we could have worn our gorgeous tops today.
I know, right?
You should see the sequin tops.
Yeah.
They're so fun. And we want to feel sexy. And we also want to have energy. Like, what is a good life without energy? I was so tired for so many years. Like, I never want to go back. Like, energy is life. It's your life force. Nothing happens without good energy. And as soon as you start to have good energy, life is possible again. So I felt like those were the 3 biggies that we really needed to address during this reset. And so I give away pretty much everything and the kitchen sink. And you can see some really profound results when you make the time and you play full out. So I want to give you an example of a woman who did just that. And I've never met her. What I offered to my community in the reset is for them to share their case study, right? Like their before information before they started the reset, their experience during the reset, their after experience, and what they noticed. So that we actually take the complete hormone assessment before we start the reset, so we get your beginning score. And then after the 15 days, we get your after score. It's only 15 days, right? So keep in mind, it's just 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And this one case study I'm going to share with you is a little crazy amazing, but this woman was very committed and very sick and tired of being sick and tired. So her name is Nina, Nina McCoy, and her symptoms before joining the 15-day hormone reset were chronic pain, fibromyalgia. Now, if anybody has ever experienced that, you know how debilitating that can be. Painful fibrocystic breaths, no periods for 6 years.
Wow.
Severe anxiety and panic attacks, severe fatigue, brain fog, poor sleep, sugar cravings, insomnia, waking 3 to 4 times a night. She called them flares, and I'm not exactly sure what she means by that, but flares happening monthly, which would cause my symptoms to go into overdrive, maybe fibromyalgia flares. And my legs and arms would go limp, causing me to fall into walls. I couldn't bathe or feed myself. I couldn't hold my head up. So this is a very extreme situation here. You know, yeah. I don't bring in a lot of ladies like this, but yeah. She's like, I'm going to try this, right? She tried everything else. And this is how it goes. You know, we've tried a lot of things and we just want to feel well. So she jumped in, I think, from a Facebook ad, and her before complete hormone assessment score was 106. So she must have checked every symptom box on that complete hormone assessment. I don't even know what I should go through and see what the top score is, but 106 is pretty close. She joined the program because she wanted to be strong, healthy, and vibrant. She wanted to be able to show up fully for her children, her husband, and herself, and be able to grow her family. I was so proud of her for even being able to think that when she was feeling so terrible. I want to have energy so I can make it through my day with ease. Okay, so I'm not going to share with you any more on that. Here's some positive changes that she noticed as a result of what she learned and implemented during the program. At the end of the program, my insomnia had improved. My waking throughout the night had been cut in half. My sugar cravings were gone. Today, 4 months of implementing Robin's reset and counting, I have 0 flares, no pain, the best sleep I've had in 12 years with 0 wake-ups, first regular period in 6 years, anxiety improved, no panic attacks, my brain fog has improved significantly, and my energy levels improved by the day. So truly
that's great. Amazing.
So after the reset, right after the 15 days, her score went from 106 to 72, which is pretty significant, right? That's 8, 10, and 6, 24 points already. So 24 symptoms improved in 15 days. After 4 months, she went down to 14.
Wow.
106 to 14. Like, I get goosebumps.
Oh, Robin, that's so beautiful.
And she's not a private client. Like, this woman did it just with the information that she learned from our $35, $45 program. Amazing.
Wow. So cool. Well, God bless you. And thank you I remember when you decided to do your first one, and it was such divine inspiration because you have helped so many people with it. So this is so cool. So it's coming up again, everybody. So if you want to jump in on this, go to the link in the show notes, check it out. We would love to see you in there. It's incredible. And Robin's amazing. As you can tell, she's really fun and animated and great to listen to. So she even has stuffed animals. I mean, it's like, what more could you want? Robin, thank you so much. It's so good to see you as always. Thanks for, being a part of my life and inspiring me, but really all the work you do. You guys, there are countless testimonials, countless lives that have been changed on account of Robin's life-changing work, and she just makes it super simple to understand, simple to act on, as this woman's, example shows us. And it's just, you deserve to feel great. You deserve to feel great. Like, why not? This is not a dress rehearsal. This is our lives. It's our lives. Stop suffering.
For sure. And what I say is, I learned to feel into my body. If it's a hell yes, then you jump in with both feet.
That's right.
If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Right. And so if you're like, yes, I want this for myself, then sign up. Right. Don't wait till tomorrow. Sign up today.
Amen. Then, take action.
Yeah, take action, because remember, right, your genes will start expressing themselves for the better immediately when you say yes to yourself. So it's been such an honor, Tricia. I love and adore you, sister. Thank you so much,
honey.
For being on.
Back at you. I love you so much. I have one last question. This being the Heal Your Hunger show, what's your deepest hunger?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my deepest hunger is to reach every single woman who is ready to play life full out so that she can live in a place of love and connection more of the time, so that spreads to her family, her community, and to those who are impacted worldwide, so we can live in a place of love and peace and connection more of the time.
I love it.
Hunger.
I love it. Thank you, sweetie, that you're doing it. And I'm my little wagon is hooked up to yours, and I'm going to help. I love you, sweetie. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We love you. We'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.